Let's get started. So I never use concealer where I might have any kind of creasing. Anywhere I have friction, I'm not gonna put concealer. I can't trust it with that much friction, but I am going to use a fluffy brush. This one's a prototype. Did y'all hear that S? Does anybody remember Gopher from Winnie the Pooh? That was the level of S we were at. And whenever I know I wanna do a more sassy, wild look, I always start with a neutral in my socket. And by neutral, I mean not too cool and not too warm. So I'm also using an E28 because I really want to keep that pigment instead of diffusing it, but I also want to smooth it and get it really nice and even. Okay. Nice, that blends out so nicely. Also, I would rather blend things downward and in here. And the reason why is because here and here are so much easier to clean up than up here. So whenever you feel like you have too much product, just kind of blend downward this way and blend it out that way. Now this on its own is one of my favorite eyeshadow shades in my entire collection, but we're using it as a base because it is such a unique shade. And then what did I do with that brush? There it is. I'm gonna take that same E28, I did wipe it off, and I'm just going to lightly push it into the socket so it becomes friends with the first shade that we put down. But I'm not gonna worry too much about it being the most seamless smoky blend because, put on your makeup seatbelts. We're gonna take some of this extreme purple neon pigment, and we wanna make sure that we're picking it up pretty evenly. These can be a little bit more difficult to pick up because they are so loose. I'm gonna start to push that into my socket. And don't go nowhere. I'm gonna let you watch this blend out. It's so cool. Look how intense that is. Oh, I love creative makeup. Give it to me. Now hang on. This is coming to the party. Now, if you've never worked with a very pigmented, extreme loose pigment, one word of advice that I can give you is for this blend, I'm actually going to switch to a smaller brush because this type of pigment can, Jean, please, the snorts. This type of pigment can be a little delicate, so it really helps to switch to a smaller brush and just do these really tiny little circular motions because they want to become patchy very, very quickly once they're overworked. But if we can keep it like that, we're in business. Now, I want this to be a little bit more tacky because I'm gonna just give it a little tappy smooth, if you will. Okay, I have this here on this mixing palette. Ooh, are y'all ready? And it's important that we do just one eye at a time right now. That way it has time to not dry down. Or that way it doesn't. Sorry, the sparkle. It's getting to me. And I'm just gonna keep kind of gradually introducing this to the purple. Now I think we should take some of that pigment and gently tap over this way and this way. Such a pretty, intense purple. And now we're gonna tidy. I think I'll do a little bit sharper edge today. I'm gonna do Lily Lash's Daydreamer because I thought a half lash would look nice, but it's gotta sit there for a second. I do warm it up on the back of my hand, but I find it's a lot easier if you even let it sit here and warm up to the shape of your eye. And then about after 10 or 15 seconds, I just give it a nice clamp onto the skin above my natural lashes. Don't be afraid to wiggle them around and really get them in place. Also, lash applicators. No matter what style lash, get some lash applicators. So I'm just taking a C42 and I'm doing a very light underpaint. It's going there. Keep it pretty simple. Jean is sleeping. Precision is really fun with underpainting, but it's not always necessary. I'm gonna wipe off my brush because now we're gonna switch to darker shades, and then I'm gonna be a little bit more mindful. Just picking it up. Oh, we love an angled brush. There. I did an in-depth, and I did a really precise in-depth, but I do want you to know that underpainting doesn't always have to just be very meticulous. Just keep that in mind. I'm gonna take that shade, that's gonna go on my forehead, still with my angles. Don't worry about it. I know it looks spookable and patchy. That's because we're not blending with the full brush. There's the full brush. Boom. Tap that out a little bit, make sure it's nice and smooth. We're gonna do my Givenchy Glow Serum. Remember to go around it. That is the only thing, because you don't want to fully cover up the contour bronze situation, bronzer, if you will. You don't want to just go super heavy on top of it. Just keep blending. So if you're new here, that is an extra large orange cat. He's not overweight, I promise. I take pride in keeping him very, very healthy, but he's a big boy and he snores. That looks so good. I really like this Tower 28 blush formula because of the way that it reacts with really wet makeup like what I have on. Now, I don't have anything set, and it's, I think set's in the name. Yeah, it's called Get Set Blush. So it just really works out nicely with really wet makeup and gives a beautiful blurred effect. I just bought this shade. This is the shade Culver Crush. And the reason I picked this shade is if you look at the final transition on the eyeshadow, look right here. It's actually pretty close to this blush. And that's one of the ways that I like to pick my blush. There's no right, there's no wrong, wear whatever blush. But if you ever kind of just want to do a secret tie-in, look at your final transition. Hold up your blushes and see if you can see that blush in there. Now, before I set my under eye, there could still be a mess up because this is a very editorial, wild, wanting to betray you product, but I am using that wet concealer to my advantage. And if I hold the brush like this, it's more than likely going to catch most of that fallout. I see a little bit, but again, this is not an everyday on the go hurry product. This is a sassy one, okay? But these are the techniques. And now if I need to, now Gene has taken to sneezing. He's fine, but he did just sneeze. Okay, now there's a little bit of fallout here. Let's fix it. I'm just gonna take a dry C30 and just kind of push that away. We're gonna wipe it on Sheila. Don't be worried. This is really good for you. Then I just grabbed this and we just go right on top. When it comes to mistakes and fixing them, you're actually much safer when you're still in this wet state. Mess ups happen. I have videos how to fix it if you already have powder on, but it's a lighter lift if you do it when you're still in this wet state. This is my second one, y'all. Talk about hit and pan. I'm gonna go ahead, give this a nice little set. Same thing with the powder. I'm gonna go around. And then if you want to set, I would recommend using your powder bronzer, or you could use this, but you gotta switch to a brush. That way you don't change the color here. You just ever so lightly set. And for my waterline, I actually used this one. I've had it a while. It's come loose from the wood. I don't mind. I'm just taking that out. Oh, that is so pretty. And then I put the blue in the center. I was filming, but then it wasn't filming, so I normally try to do things with you, but oops. Y'all know I love this one. Frost anyone? I have been itching to get my hands on this. They actually just sent it. It just came in the mail. It's immediately going on my lips. Rosette lip liner. I believe this is a new shade as well for Melt Cosmetics. I might be wrong, but that's okay. I'm doing a very sloppy situation here because I just kind of throw on the lip liner, because then I go in with this. Oh, are you ready? I don't know if we're ready. Okay, you are staying on my vanity very close. I love a frost. I think it's gorgeous. And then I'm gonna ground it and blend it a little bit more with the lip liner. Then we're gonna finish the look. This is the same thing that's on my lid. Okay. Oh, I don't know if you can hear it, but it's lightly thundering outside. All right, my friends, I know this isn't a look that some of us want to wear every single day, but it's fun. And sometimes the creativity in me just has to come out, and this is how I express myself. I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial. I did film it with back camera, so if you're wondering why I'm looking like this the whole time, it's because I'm looking at my phone filming into the mirror. But now I'm looking into the mirror, which is now looking at you. Ooh, that was a lot. All right, I love you so much. Thank you for letting me express myself with makeup. It's wonderful that you're here with me and we have so much fun. All right, I love you. Bye for now.